Please subscribe Digital India.
Long break. Last I was here, well, long time ago. I hate long journeys from New Delhi direct to New York. So I broke journey in London, where there was an event at Cambridge. And in my hotel, I switched on the telly and I found something that Oscar Wilde said, England and the United States, two countries divided by a common language. I think there is cricket is something that divides. The Atlantic is in the way. So I switched on the telly and I found England playing Bangladesh cricket. I shan't dwell long on that, I can promise you, but I'm simply to make the point. It just occurred to me that the English team had 3 Muslims. Ten years ago, I would have felt very mean having a thought like that cross my mind. It would not have registered. 3 Englishmen of Asian origin, maybe, but it just wouldn't matter. It mattered to me that these 3 players in the English team were Muslims from the subcontinent. I said, but look at that. Sadiq Khan, another Muslim, Mayor of London. They seem to be prospering here rather better than back home. Very talented team Pakistan had once. Today, it is a team without a country. They play their test matches in Dubai and Sharjah and Abu Dhabi. Just when I was beginning to lament, someone sent me a note saying, no, Saeed, don't say that there is no Muslim in the Indian cricket team, because today the team has been announced and there is Mohammad Shami. The point I'm making is, why am I going around and round on this? Where did this meanness come to me? We were not like that. Not in the beginning. My good friend Vinod Mehta, who died 2 years ago, the editor of a successful editor, buddy of mine, we were in school together. I don't think we knew that he was a Hindu and I was a Muslim. I don't think it ever mattered. We were into each other's homes, we ate the same food, we spoke the same language, we went out dressed up on Friday evenings to watch the well-groomed ladies of Isabella Thoburn College come out on the streets of Hazratganj. It was done those days. It was a great aesthetic. We shared all of that. But then Vinod became editor. One day he called me, he said, Saeed, why don't you write 2 pieces on this from the Muslim angle? Et tu, Vinod, I said. Even you have now identified me as a Muslim? I come from an area many of you would know, but some who may not, from an area called Awadh. Now, Awadh is circumscribed. On one end, you have the Triveni, Jamuna, Ganga, and the mythical Saraswati rivers, the Sangam in Allahabad. Then you have Varanasi, the holiest of holy cities in India. Then you come Mathura, the land of Krishna and his dalliance. Further, you come to Rishikesh, Hardwar. Everything that is important in Hindu India is what we were it was all part of us. I come from a small place called Mustafabad. Mustafabad is neither a village nor a district headquarter, it's a qasbah. In between. Our home is about 300-400 years old at least. But when we go there, we don't stay in that house, and we go there for annual Muharram, weddings, deaths. We don't stay in the house. We take NTPC, there's an electric outfit nearby, and they have a guest house. We stay in that guest house because this 500-year-old house has come down like melting ice cream, and we cannot, and its upkeep is impossible. But all our memories are anchored there, so we have to go there. Mustafabad happens to be 20 kilometers from Raebareli. Raebareli, you people will be familiar with, is possibly the most important constituency in the electoral schema of India. Because every Indian has been taught to believe that it is the fiefdom of the Nehru-Gandhi family. A small correction, and maybe an amplification, that my father's elder brother was the first Congress MLA from Raebareli. Now, I'm not doing this to drop names. I'm simply doing this to give you the backdrop against which the drama has been played out. He was the first Congress MLA from Raebareli. As a toddler, I saw Feroz Gandhi, whom Mrs. Gandhi had married, weave his parliamentary constituency around my uncle's assembly constituency. And there are details to it, and I shall not bore you with that. Feroz Gandhi, as you know, was a Parsi. Now, so Rajiv Gandhi technically should be a Parsi young man. But in the Indian framework, he has been Brahminized. He was a good friend of mine. And I used to joke with him. I say, you are all interlopers. I am originally from Raebareli. Because when Feroz Gandhi died, Indira Gandhi became the MP, then Rajiv, and then of course sundry others, and now the family, whatever residue of the family remains. Sonia, Rahul, and so on and so forth. Before that, my great-grandfather, they were involved in the mutiny, what was known as the First War of Independence. That is what Benjamin Disraeli called it when he got reports of what had happened in UP, in Awadh. But later on, the story was toned down, and the colonial authority called it the mutiny. And Pandit Nehru also writes somewhere. So, from my mother's side, who had rather more, these were very small. They were not sort of grand Maharajas or anything. They were very, it's there in the book, where exactly they were. My mother's side, who had slightly more lands, they all declined from feudalism very nicely into communism. So they missed out on the middle class experience. It's very important. Because with the coming of the British, the Brahmin had taken to Western education like duck to water, and thereby created a triangular situation. The Muslims, particularly the ones in the backwaters of Mustafabad, thought they were very content with their Urdu culture, their poetry, their music, art, conversation. And never has there been, to my knowledge, a civilization, a civilizational space where poetry was a way of life. You couldn't complete a conversation without bringing in some couplet, either Persian or of Urdu, one way or the other. Urdu defined our attitude. But came people in Hyderabad and Lahore and others, people forget that actually Lucknow had begun to die 100 years ago. Because 1857 is when the annexation of Awadh, which the British called Oudh, took place. And when the annexation took place, and this very spectacular king, Wajid Ali Shah, was taken along with his entourage to a place outside Calcutta called Matia Burj, where he lived for 31 years. We shall not talk about that, because that again is not on the main theme. In our house, when child, for births, a sohar is a song, sung at childbirth, and particularly after the 7th month. So the favorite sohar of my mother and my grandmother, and contrary to the image people may have, they all wore saris. The favorite sohar was Allah Miyan Hamre Bhaiya Ka Diyo Nandlal. Oh my Allah, give my brother a son like Lord Krishna. Hazrat Bibi, the Prophet's daughter, is speaking to Sugra. Sugra is the messenger, the parrot. In the Sanskrit framework. And she says, the battle is over, but Ali Sahab has not come. Go look for him. And if you can't find him anywhere, go to Vrindavan. where Krishna plays. So, Maulana Hasrat Mohani from Mohan, in that very area, member of the Constituent Assembly, a Maulana mean a cleric, never stayed in the official bungalows allotted to him, always slept on a mat in a mosque. The songs he wrote on Krishna in Awadhi and Braj Bhasha are unparalleled. There was a belief, and some Sufi silsilas believed in them, that it is written that among the 1,24,000 prophets since Adam, he has sent a prophet everywhere. And the belief was that Krishna was that prophet. So, Maulana Hasrat Mohani, who refused to sign the document of the Constitution, he said it was anti-people. But he used to go for his Hajj. And when he returned, his Hajj was incomplete unless and until he went to Barsana, the abode of Radha. You should listen to it. I'm surprised that Maulana Hasrat Mohani's songs on Krishna, his pranks, he sprinkles colors on me all the time. And he's here and there and everywhere. And he doesn't know. One day if I squeeze all the mischief out of him, such intense and passionate love. Mor pakha sar upar rakhi ho. I shall wear the peacock plumes in my hair. Mor pakha sar upar rakhi ho. Kunj ki maar. I'll wear the beads that he wore. I shall take the stick and chase the cows in Vrindavan as he used to do and play with all his playmates. But that flute, I shall never touch that flute because his lips have touched it. उसके अधरों ने उसे छुआ है. बैरन है ये मेरी. This delicacy of thought, Sayyid Ibrahim Ras Khan, the great poet Ghalib, as great a poet, I mean, just as there will be a general consensus that, say, Pablo Neruda ranks with the greatest in any literature anywhere. Ghalib, I shall place there, without any fear of refutation. Ghalib thought that his pension, he was always in penury, went to jail twice, one because he could not pay his liquor bills. Yes, he writes after 1857 that life in Delhi has become impossible. Scotch is selling at 16 rupees a dozen. They told him that if you went to Calcutta, the second city of the empire, the British authorities may help you resume your pension. So the old fellow walks, horseback, palanquin, barges, goes to Allahabad, doesn't like it, goes to Varanasi, the holiest of holy places, and he puts down anchor there. He wrote his longest poem, Charag-e-Dair, Lamp of the Temple. He says, Varanasi is like the beautiful woman that sees her face in the mirror of the Ganga mornings, afternoons and evenings. Ibadat khana-e naqusyanast. This is the Ibadat Khana. This is the place of worship of those. Naqus is conch shells. Here people make music out of conch shells. Hamana Kaaba-e Hindustanas. This truly is the Kaaba of Hindustan, of India, says Ghalib. A little before him, Sheikh Ali Hazim puts down anchor in Varanasi. Az Banaras Naravam Mabade Amast Ija. I cannot leave Varanasi. It is the holiest place for all. Mabade Amast Ija. Har Brahman Pisare Lashmano Ramas. Every Brahman here looks like the very son of Ram and Lakshman. And these are not medieval characters. Bismillah Khan, the Shahnai will never be played more exquisitely, was day before yesterday. He used to play his at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. Music, which we have forgotten. The khayal would not be khayal without Amir Khusro. And every singer, you have, I don't want to get into it because it will only stretch the talk. If an occasion arises, I should say it elsewhere. The point I'm making is that we have loved this place. And we have decorated this place with poetry, with Urdu. Urdu did not come from Persia or Arabia or Turkey or wherever. Urdu was created, forged here. And it is my challenge to the universe. Give me one couplet in Urdu, one, that praises the mullah. He is the constant butt of humor. And my politician has chosen to sideline them and go for the mullah. All of them. Not one like, hai waqai muntaqim. Khota hai khuda. If God really takes revenge, then he is a fake. है वाकई मुंतकिम, इंतकाम लेता है, तो खोटा है खुदा. सोना नहीं है जिसमें वो गोटा है खुदा. It's a embroidery without any gold thread in it. Real gold thread. His name, the poet's name is Shabbir Hasan Khan Joshi. Says, है वाकई मुंतकिम तो खोटा है खुदा. सोना नहीं है जिसमें वो गोटा है खुदा. शब्बीर हसन खान नहीं लेते बदला, शब्बीर हसन खान से भी छोटा है खुदा. This level of irreverence. And just the other day, and fundamentalists, extremists, the most popular bhajan. Bhajan is a song sung for Shiva or for Krishna or for Rama. It's a devotional song. The most popular bhajan in the last 60 years. मन तड़पत हरि दर्शन को आज राग मालकोस. Writer Shakil Badayuni. singer Muhammad Rafi, music director Naushad. What did you want us to do? We have adored this land. And today, you make cow dung paste and catch those two Muslim boys and thrust it down their throats. Today, you go 40 kilometers outside Delhi and you get hold of a fellow called Muhammad Akhlaq on the suspicion that he may be eating beef. And you kill him, and the police comes, and rather than send his body for post-mortem, goes to his house, pulls out the meat for forensic study. At the end of it, they discover that no, this was not beef at all. But inquiry has to be conducted because the elections are coming. In the process, one of the murderers dies of natural causes. The minister in Delhi turns up for the funeral. The man's body is draped in the national tricolor and a procession is taken out. Shall I tell you something? That this lumpenized Hindutva does not worry me. It bothers me. It bothers me because it bothers my Hindu friends. They are embarrassed. They are more embarrassed than I am. I probably get a little angry. They are all embarrassed. So this does not have much life in it. But then something else happens. My daughter, whom Veena knows and Phil knows, has taken up an apartment in Mehroli. She says, Papa, you must come there. You, Mama, must come there because we have a wonderful view. So we turn up for the wonderful view and we look at that wonderful view. And I said, can't you see something there? Scene cuts. Let me give you a small background. In the Indian Foreign Service, there are 3 or 4 appointments that every Foreign Service officer seeks. And one of them happens to be ambassador in Paris. And among the reasons for ambassadorship in Paris is that the Indian ambassador's residence in Paris has the most wonderful view of the Eiffel Tower. Now, Eiffel Tower, as you should know, is a 133-year-old monument. Big Ben in London, which dominates the view of London, is 157 years old. The Statue of Liberty is somewhere in that vicinity. My daughter was pointing out to a monument which was not visible. Qutub Minar is 822-year-old monument. The founder of Aligarh Muslim University, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, suspended himself by scaffoldings to decode the exquisite calligraphy on the highest stories of that monument. I said, I can't see that. Well, inquiries reveal, Mr. Naqvi, yes, you're right, it is in darkness. But actually, we had given the contract to Bajaj Lamps. Bajaj is a company that creates these bulbs. The contract had been given to Bajaj Lamps and they have not delivered. So the 822-year-old monument is in darkness for this reason. And the Red Fort? Well. Now, The lumpenized making paste out of cow dung does not worry me because I have a huge constituency with me and they're all Hindu. They say, this is rotten. Here, this has been thought through in the National Archives, in the Archaeological Survey of India. Where is the agitation? UNESCO has been pleading with Indian governments, and mind you, BJP was not on the horizon then. They have been negotiating. Look, China has 5 heritage cities. Why don't you have one? Say, okay. Hey, we can't have all the 7 cities of Delhi happen to be Muslim. We can't have 7 cities of Muslim. Okay, fair enough. All right. Bargain goes on. 2 cities they settle for. One is Lutyens, Delhi, British, and Shahjahanabad, Muslim. So these are going to be the 2. And all, again, this is the large constituency that enables us to breathe, that keeps India going. These are the people, Chapi Mishra, Ogi Menon. They create these big dossiers, and UNESCO is coming. It has been narrowed down to 2 choices, the Lutyens and Shahjahanabad. The city built by Emperor Shah Jahan. All right, UNESCO is coming. Here are the dossiers. Lo and behold, comes a mysterious hand and the dossiers disappear in the Prime Minister's office. Now that, so we are now the capital city of the country where the capital resides. Those in occupation of South Block, North Block and the bhavans there are not proud of the city in which the capital is. Now that's a tricky one. How have we come here? As I said, we didn't mind the world. We said Nehru. We thanked everything on Jawaharlal Nehru. Panditji. We couldn't call him Nehru. We couldn't call him Jawaharlal. He had to be Pandit Nehru. He was Panditji. Our elders would shout us down. So, you told us there would be no partition, but then you partitioned it. Well, Panditji has done it. He must have a scheme. There must be something in his mind. He told us that zamindari is all that we depended on and that it would not be taken away in a hurry. We will delay the process. In 1951, comes Govind 52, comes Govind Vallabh Pant, and landlordism is abolished overnight, and people are suddenly in instant penury. Panditji, maybe they didn't listen to him. Maybe we banked maybe we placed all our eggs in that basket. Shh. He is our only hope. In 1964, Panditji died. And his hand-picked man called Lal Bahadur Shastri, Prime Minister of India. He fought a war with Pakistan, and a brilliant war it was. A good war. But he reached out to Guru Golwalkar, the original guru of gurus of the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. It may be a wonderful organization, it may be, but that is not what Nehru had told us. It was evil, it was fascist. Oh, but your successor has got in touch with Guru Golwalkar because he says we need civil defense duty has to be done by the RSS, particularly in the Muslim dominant areas. listen, keep it under wraps. When Mishra ji comes, no one will talk about it. Okay? When Gupta ji comes, we shall not talk about it. It's a family secret. We shall see. We shall see. My good friend Rajiv Gandhi goes to Ayodhya, says, Ram Raj. Poor fellow didn't know. I mean, I know so much more than he did about Ram. Ram Raj I'm going to bring, he announced before the elections. Karnakaran used to get him to take his clothes off and roll around the gods at Guru Vayur temple because they wanted to Brahmanize him. Without that, it was not working. In the process of being Brahmanized, he fell in love with payasam. It's a kheer, it's a dessert in that temple. So when he and his extended family went for his New Year's at Lakshadweep Island, Karnakaran, as chief minister, sent him a whole tumbler full of this particular dessert from Guru Vayur temple. But that is an aside. I think I will, at this point, just make two observations. One is, because we must, you have questions to ask, and I'm sure my friend Philip Oldenburg has many questions to ask on this. What had happened? The lies we were told could have been avoided. This is secular India. The manner in which partition was effected had no other trajectory but this. It had no. It would have been a much. Maulana Azad, whom Nehru praises his intellect, he says, oh, he's so erudite, I can't even talk to him. He writes in his letters to Indira Gandhi. Oh, he knows everything about from the Greek philosophers to this person and that person. So he's very, very deferential to Maulana Azad's intellect. And when, no, we shall not partition the country, he swears till the last minute. Read 30 pages of Maulana Azad's book, that's all. He says, partition. If you partition the country, you've inaugurated unadulterated Hindu Raj. Was he telling a lie? I was talking to my friend in Yale yesterday. I said, listen, Rakesh, you and I, supposing we talked like this. Listen, Saeed, 800 years of Muslim rule, 200 years of British rule. Now we've given you that country. Listen, let's be fair. We are going to run this country. Just as we all together serve the British Raj, we shall all serve the Hindu Raj. That would have been a more honest bargain. Because I would then say, okay, you're right. But then we can work out 12% maybe in the services. Since we are 180 million, maybe some in the army, police, entrepreneurial help. All of that would have been a much more honest bargain than this complete mumbo-jumbo that was tossed around in the name of secular India. Congress and the BJP, Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Thank you. You know, how long can one carry on? There is no end. There is no end to the things in the heart. I could carry on and on and on and on. But there is no end to it. The voiceless wailing, no end to the withering of withered flowers that drop their petals and remain motionless. Thank you.